Cassie Oelberg in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. We are going to do sketch 3 from the May virtual crop. We will, of course, be building on Fast to Fab pages. We are going to use 2 totally different pages, and I'll show you how we're going to make that work with the coordinating papers. We're going to go over sticky mats and cutting borders and a couple other fun things. So I hope that you decide to stick with us and do this fun layout. Okay. So let's get over here to our desktop. And this was the one that I posted in the virtual crop group. This was the May 3rd virtual crop. And I kept a lot of the aspects of the actual virtual crop, but I did switch up a couple of things. Like I put bigger pictures here because they didn't have the smaller pictures. And of course, I used one of my favorite things, the write-on stickers, which I'm going to use again today at the end, but I'm going to use the new ivory. So if you haven't tried the new write-on stickers, there are 2 new colors, which is super exciting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to use these 2 pages for this 2-page layout. And so what's fun about this is that, as you know, most Fast to Fab pages have coordinating colors that go with it. So the first thing we need to do is get this fun top and bottom. So the bottom is already this beautiful blue on this one. So we're just going to cut a 6-inch piece. And I love how the Fast to Fab pages already have so many aspects of what you want to do anyway. And so what's exciting about that is that it saves you money, right? Because I only need to use half this piece of paper. I'm going to get to use half for something else. And it's also fast because I'm not building straight from scratch. So this is going to go right here. Okay. Next up, we need these top pieces. So we don't even need a whole 6 by 12 to go across here. We just need 2 6 by 6 squares, but this one is already the brown that we're going to be using. So now we just need a 6 by 6 square of this pretty brown that is, of course, in our paper pack that matches the Noteworthy Fast Fab pages. So I just really can't tell you guys how much I love being able to do this. So there we go. We have our 6 by 6 piece, and this is going to go up in this corner. Next, we're going to do some borders because these borders are actually going to go, oh, you know what? I decided I was going to cut this in half, and I'll show you that in a second. So we're going to go ahead and do our other 6 by 9 cut here. So the next thing I want is this part of the layout, which is the 6 by 9. And we're going to use this beautiful teal paper. So we want it to be 6 by 9. Of course, if we cut it in half, it's 6 inches, but let's start with the 9 because then we can just cut that in half and have both pieces that we need. So there's our 9 inches. And then our 6. So that's going to go there and there. And then we'll get to the borders. But look how fast this is coming together. And we have a lot of our aspects already there. So that makes it super fun and super easy. Okay. So next up, we are going to do all of these really fun borders. I'm going to show you what we're going to use. This out of the way. We are going to use this GeometricGems chain. I just love this. And we are going to do a little bit of magic mats while doing this. And, well, you'll see. So we're going to cut off the border, and it takes about 1 inch off whenever you make a border with a border maker cartridge. So I'm going to want some 4 by 6 mats later. That means I can cut up to 2 borders with those and still have enough to do my 4 by 6 mats. So that's exciting. So when you have those little tiny segments, sometimes they do get caught in here, which is why I usually pull it straight out. Did you like how I did surgery with the microtip scissors there? surgery. It's great. Okay, so if you pull it straight up, then it doesn't get stuck so much. So there's one. And now we're going to go ahead and do two. Because that will still leave us with 10 inches. That'll come in handy in just a few minutes. All right. So let's go ahead and put these on because I am known for losing some things as we go. So let's not lose things. Let's just put them across the bottom of our pages. Look how pretty this turns out. I love that. I am going to take my microtip scissors and the very edge has that stuck because the paper was just a little bit long. It does that sometimes. It's like a 1/16 of an inch too long there. So I'm just going to snip that out so that they can be exactly the way I want them. Love my microtip scissors. And then these are going to go across the bottom. Change page over here. And I just used beige cardstock to cut that. I love how this turns out. Okay. So then let's see if I'm a liar or if that worked out right. Yep. See, 10 inches. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut another one. And this one, we are going to use a sticky mat and turn it into what we really want. So let's go ahead and punch one more. We're pulling straight out so that you don't have to do surgery with your microtip scissors to get it out of your casing. Put that off to the side. Now, let's pour our trimmer out. And I want to slice this one down the middle because I'm going to use half of it. To do that, I need it to not slip. So I'm going to pull out my sticky mat. And I have used this with my repositionable tape before. And so I want to continue to do it with that same sticky mat so that I don't mess up all of my mats in my trimmer. So I'm going to put tape right on here at these spots. And then I'm going to put it down on my trimmer. Standing always makes it interesting to try to get it exactly where you want it without getting your head in the screen. But I want this center part to be right on that first dotted line where it's going to cut. What's really nice is I can pull these out and I can see that I need to move it a little bit down here. That's what I can see. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and slice. And now I have two borders. Do you have a couple of little spots out of my way that I just want to trim up a little bit here? So I didn't know what we did before. Repositionable tape and microtip scissors. Like there's so many things that now that we have them, I guess that's just life though, right? Because like what would we do without internet? I would not be live streaming right here with all of you without internet. It's crazy to think about. There we go. Oh, a couple more I want to fix up here. Okay. Now, I'm going to put that one off to the side, and this one is going to go, show you, it's going to go right down this center piece. Instead of doing a 12 by 1 strip, I'm going to put this down, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut it at 6 inches because it only needs to go halfway across the page. So I'm just going to cut it in half. And now I can finish stickifying these. Stickifying, there's a word. Okay. So this is going to go here. And see how fun that is? I took the triangle that's in the center, and you can make half be blue and half be brown by centering it perfectly there. It's just a fun little thing to do. So now we have those borders across, and now we are going to add in our photos. So, photo trimmer. This side, I am going to end up putting a peekaboo pocket in on because I want this one with our tour guide was so animated. We were touring Flanders Fields and it was just such a cool tour. And he was just so animated and so excited. In fact, he was so excited that we had the head of the African Vet Corps with us, and then it was us with the U.S. Vet Corps. And of course, we were with my husband's friend who is the Belgian Vet Corps. And he researched the African and the American soldiers that were buried so that he could take us to their sites. And that was just really thoughtful of him to go above and beyond and find special things for us. So I'm going to do 3.5 by 5.5. Let's see, cut there. And a little off here. So fun because the wife of the African Vet Corps commander asked me if I minded if she took pictures during our tour because she did not want to insult me by taking lots of pictures of my family. And I thought that was just awesome. I said, only if you don't mind if I take lots of pictures. And then we hit it off really great. So it was really fun. Okay, so we've got our pictures trimmed. Oh, we need our one for over here. So there we go. 5.5. This is my daughter. Oh, she was just taking it all away. And they were talking about the young women who ran off to become nurses in the war. And she was really listening during that. Okay. So now we are going to take this. We're going to do mats. Now remember, we cut 2 borders off of this. So 2 inches came off of here. So now we are going to turn it into 4 4x6 mats. So in order to do that, let's see, 4 plus 6 is 10. Oh, this is my bigger piece. I only cut 1 border off of there, but look, we're going to take it 10 inches. It took a little bit more, so I should have only cut 1 border off. That's okay. We have one that we only cut 1 border off. So see, that's a good experiment right there. The border is less than 1 inch overall, but it takes a little bit more because it takes some off. So you can cut 1 border off, but not 2. Not 2. Okay, so we're going to measure over 4 inches. So we cut it 10 by 10 because 4 plus 6 is 10. And then we're going to take it down to 6 inches. Cut down to 6. And you just rotate around. Magic mats are one of my favorite things in the entire world. Go. And now once you get past that first cutout, it's super simple because now you just keep cutting at 4 inches, rotating to the left, and voila, you end up with 4 perfect mats. So let's go ahead and mat these photos over here. And I think I'm not going to mat the ones on the, that might be a little overkill. So there is my here. And it's going to come over here. And put these 2 here. And see how fast this can come together? So I'm not going to mat over here. And then, where is my photo that I want to cut down? This is where my peekaboo is going to go, right here. Oops. And then over here, this was a young boy that ran away. He was 15 and he wanted to fight for his country. And so they bring little toys and things to remember him. So now we're going to do this one down to the same 5.5 by 3.5. And here. Let's see. 3.5. 3.5. Oh, I should have cut from the other side. That's okay. I didn't really want that picture. I may go back and trim that up on the other side, but I get the whole monument. Sometimes when you get going on camera, you're just like, snip, snip, snip. Whoop. Let's see. Oh, I have these a little more even. There we go. And I just love how the photos are labeled with the name of the folder that you call it and the exact date and time down to the second. So now I'm going to map this picture. Let's see if I can get it cut to 3.5 and be happy. Yep. Trim this off the top a little. Trim over here. Oh yeah. Perfect. Now we can map this photo over here. This is going to go over here. And then we're going to do that same thing. We're going to measure down and snip it in half. And this is going to go across the top to be that other border. It's not quite as fast as last week's, is it, guys? But it's still pretty quick. So this is going to go here. Might help if I start at the edge. And this one's going to go over here. Okay, now I am going to go ahead and slide my page protector on and show you the peekaboo because I use them like popcorn. Like, look, I have this whole big thing because it's like I use them constantly, but I don't know if everybody knows how. So I'm going to go ahead and slide the page protector on. And if you've never slid a page protector on or you want to know how, you can put a piece of cardstock over it. I just kind of hold it up against my body and I flip back and forth, sliding it on. It goes pretty quick. And then I'm going to grab myself a 4x6 peekaboo. And I just have these everywhere. I use them nonstop. Oh, I forgot to cut these ones down and put them on. We'll just do that last. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our peekaboo with our photos that are hiding from me now. La, 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 la. I swear I have 2 photos that are going to go in this peekaboo. Okay. Oh, they're there. Okay. So, first thing that you need to know is that the tape is on the opposite side of the opening. And that's important because look how hard it is to get a hold of it, right? So if I didn't know that it was on the opposite side, I might be looking for it forever. And then I always fold mine down like this. And then I put it down before I put my pictures in it because I may change my mind, right? So this is going to come down here like this. I'm going to take my photo I'm going to flip this open. Slide that in. And now I have my peekaboo on there. Now the last thing I'm going to do is add these little pictures. And over here, I might make one a journal map. This is the sign about it being Flanders Field. And it has the actual poem that was written by the doctor that wrote that poem. Okay. So 2.5, 2.5. So there's the poem. And I'm going to keep this hole like this. And it's going to go on the other side. So it is, let's see, we'll make it 3.5 by 2.5. So now, our other piece of our cardstock that we cut 2 borders out of, and we're going to make it 3 by 3. And then for the other one, I said what, it was 3.5. So we're going to make it 4 because we're making these full 1/4 inch borders, which means adding 1/2 inch. Making a lovely mess over here, guys. You should see what's off to the right. Quite funny. Okay. So I'm going to put this one over here because this was actually Flanders Field. This one is going to slide it in here. Take my whole page protector off. And then here, I'm going to put the other half of the picture, which was hiding from me in plain sight. And so instead of making it 2 little ones, I made it one slightly bigger one. Just going to cut right from here. And now I have 2 completed pages. I will probably go back and add some writing. Don't know exactly what I want to say yet. I want to catch the somberness of the moment. But when I use these, I just want to tell you, I love them so much. So when I use these, I write right on them. So I write my whole, whatever I want to say. So we were blessed to have a tour guide who loved to research. He found U.S. troops for us and African troops for the African vet for Commander's family. And I write the whole thing out, and then I can just snip it where I want it to go. So if I want this to go here, which I do, then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to go like this. And I want to end at the 2. So I'm going to go like this. And this is really good for somebody like me because I don't like to be perfect. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to slide these around where I want them to go. But this is a little longer. I should have started up here. We can do that. So I'm going to just slide this up here. Start it here. Just put new ones right down there. And see, I can finish with a sentence up there, and then I can come down here. And I want it to be a little bit longer over here, not a big deal. I'm going to put troops down. like this. And then finish it off going this way. I feel like I need to complete this page now that I'm started. Bam. So just fun to be able to add that in and put it wherever you want on your page. So that's it. That's all I have for today. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope you learned something new or went over something that you wanted to learn. Have a great day.